To have you guys here today. We're 4 days in, and it's been a lot of fun. I think I'm almost losing my voice, but it's been good. It was fun to practice we called them the newcomer group. Obviously, we did have some guys that have been around here before with them, so we could practice the way we needed to practice. But I thought it was great for them to get individual coaching and a lot of technique work. Have to go out and execute the offense with a lot of reps. They got tired at times, which was good for them. We didn't have enough old linemen, but basically I thought we got a lot accomplished with that group. And then the vets practicing in the afternoon. I'm encouraged by a lot of things that I see. I think we're bigger and more physical, and we've improved on our technique and fundamentals. We're not close to where we need to be as far as our execution. Offense, defense, you have one or two guys make a mistake on certain plays, and so your execution isn't there. But we'll continue to work on that and get better. What we did is we installed 4 practices, and then we kind of start over again today when we come back together. So it's been a lot of fun. I like our coaching staff. I think they're doing a really good job of teaching. Our players have been really good in the meetings. It's been a busy day. They've taken away the two-a-days mostly for the players, but the coaches were still doing two-a-days, which is good for them. But like I said, it's been a lot of fun. We'll just open up for questions. Yeah, well, when you look at some of the newcomers that you feel like can really have a chance to get in the depth and help us, P.O. on the defensive front has been very impressive to me. He's physical, he can run, he's picked things up quickly. Some of that's because he played in this exact same scheme at his junior college, and physically he's really ready to play and compete. James Sample has done a nice job. I think we're real happy with his progression, and feel like he has the skill and the ability to help us. How soon he does that will be determined on how well he can learn and pick everything up. But certainly he'll help us early on special teams and that. As far as some of the freshmen, Reggie Bonifant has been very impressive. He took the first 2 days and practiced with the newcomers, and then we brought him up the next 2 to kind of throw him in there and see how he handled the speed, and see how much different it was for him. And I was happy with how he played. I'm sure he wasn't. I'm sure he was like, oh, I missed this throw, I missed that throw, but he seemed very comfortable. It was easy for him to step in the huddle and lead and call the plays and be in command at a young age, which is really good to see. But he's got a long way to go to really execute at that fast of a level. Isaac Stewart, one of our linebackers, I think has been very impressive to me. He's big and fast and gives a lot of energy and effort out there. Lucas McNeil as a tackle, hopefully we stay healthy and, he's able to back up, possibly redshirt, but he's a very, very talented guy. Both of our young tight ends have done a nice job. They both physically are where they need to be able to help us play. Both of them can run and catch the ball, so I've been impressed with those 2 guys too. Yeah, I'm sure that he feels like he's not executing the way he was at the end of the spring, and he's not. I've always feel like those first 2 days when you're in helmets only, the advantage goes to the defense. It's harder to pass pro, it's harder to block, and we're not executing like we want to be, like we did at the end of the spring. And the quarterback usually takes the blame for it or the brunt of it. But to be real honest with you, it's all 11 guys. The receivers aren't as crisp and exact on their routes. The timing's not as good as we want it to be. So he's missed some throws. He's been a little bit inconsistent. But he's also had, times like in team not yesterday, the day before, I think he completed 10 straight passes. So he's had times where you see exactly how he can do it. But offensively, it just takes a little bit time to get where you need to be.
Are you where you hope you thought you would be at this point as a quarterback?
Never are. You're never where you want to be. But Will's doing a good job. Don't get me wrong. He's doing a good job. We're throwing a lot at him. Again, when you do the first 4 days and you throw everything at him offensively, plus what our defense is doing, that's a lot to take in. But he's doing a good job, and he's in command. He knows the offense. He's working at it every day to get better. I just think overall our passing game with our timing and the precision that we need is not there yet. Well, Tobridge is still doing a really good job, and he improved a lot over the summer. He got stronger. He actually is running better and faster, and I think the two of those guys are, but you always need, 3 tight ends, sometimes 4. So I think one of them will definitely have to contribute and help us this year. Yeah, and Gerald's in great shape. He's the strongest he's ever been, and he's really a good football player. I like the way he runs his routes. He can catch the ball away from his body. He can get down the middle of the field. So he's a guy that we have to really use. He needs to continue to improve on his blocking and getting better at that. But I think that he's made strides in that area. So it'll be important for him, for his future, to really work hard on the blocking aspect and making sure he can play both on the line and off the line. No, we've never put a name to it or anything like that. We're just kind of a multiple formation, multiple personnel offense that, we utilize a lot of different personnel groups, run a lot of the similar plays with different personnel groups, which makes it look a little bit more complex than it really is. We're going to be able to do both, run the ball and throw the ball. I think that's really important that you're able to do both of those. Some years it's worked out that, you throw the ball first and you're really good at it. You make people defend your formations, and it helps you run the football. And then there's been some years where we've had to run the ball first, and then that sets up your play action game and your passing game. So not sure yet where we'll be at, but I do really like our running backs. We haven't talked about those guys yet, but they're in great shape. They're as sharp now as they were at the end of spring. They're seeing things, they're making cuts, they're working hard on their explosion. All 3 of them are been very focused, working hard on pass protection. So, and then you got Radcliffe and Lamb that have been working with the younger group, and they've been, the standouts with the younger group, which they should be because they're both older and they've been around a little bit. But they're both very explosive, so I think we got a good group of runners. We're not really looking for them to separate themselves. They will at some point, but I just like the way they're all playing and competing.
If you could elaborate on, you talked about throwing a lot of stuff at Will. What would you see now that's not seen this spring?
Well, the defense has been doing a lot more blitzing and pressure packages and the blitz pickup, and that's kind of where, as a quarterback, the learning curve gets more. There's more coming at him right now. So besides our installation, we're doing some things on defense that'll help us in some of the early games that we're going to play that he didn't see in spring ball. So they've added a little bit to that package, which makes it a little more difficult. In our installation, we threw a lot at him, whereas in spring you spread it out a little bit more. You basically have a 4-week plan where He gets to go at a little uh, slower pace, I guess I would say.
How do you feel about the depth on the offensive line right now?
I feel a lot better than when we were in spring. You know, it's great to have Mac back out there. He's been rotating in both guard and tackle. Kelby Johnson has helped us a lot. He's very athletic, big and long. I think he just needs to continue to see the type of rushers that are coming at him. You know, there's some good rushers coming at him, which will make him better and better. And then, you know, Jake Smith and John Miller and Jamon are doing a really good job and doing a really good job of leading. I'm impressed with the way they're leading and helping everyone get better. We got Acosta back, and so he's been in there competing and working at it. Skylar Lacey has made some huge strides in the summer. He's more flexible and he's bending better, and he's looked a lot better than he did all spring.
Will that be maybe the biggest difference in the confidence jump with the interior linemen on both sides of the ball might be just a little better week in and week out?
Yeah, I mean, that's hard for me to say, you know, if it'll be a big difference. But we're going to face some really good defensive linemen and some really good offensive linemen. You know, I think it's just going to be real competitive at all positions. No, it's still a possibility. You know, we still need to get the rotation and find out who our best five are and what position. I like Jake at either one. You know, I like him the way he played in the spring when he was at guard, and I like the way he played early in spring at center. He's done a nice job in the first 4 days at center. But we have to keep finding out what's going to be the best combination. I mean, you would like to. You know, I think that's the hardest position to play early is on the offensive front. You know, it's the defensive lineman. Jason Spitz stayed healthy, so he got to be the number 2 and redshirt. I think there's been great carryover with our veteran group. You know, they've been out there. The communication has been very good. Terrell Floyd moving inside at safety has really helped us in his leadership ability, his knowledge of the game, you know, has really been good to see. With Lorenzo back, you know, we got 2 really good edge players that can rush the passer, drop, do the things you need to do. And they've really, you know, you've seen them carry over a lot of the things that we did from spring. Now the young guys are swimming a little bit. You know, that's a lot to throw at them, and they're swimming a little bit, and they've got a ways to go to, you know, really understand the package. My wife asked me the other day how practice went, and I texted her back and said, well, it went pretty good, but the young guys are swimming a little bit. And she said, oh, I bet that feels good.
So did you answer that text?
Yeah, I just said, now I know where, I said, now I know why my granddaughter's a dork. I like what we're doing on special teams. You know, I really think we're doing a good job punting the ball. We've worked hard on our hang time and getting it where we want it. Our get-off time is better with our snapper and our get-off. I think we're kicking field goals real well. We haven't went live rush yet because we haven't been in full pads, but our timing's better and our accuracy's better. We've worked hard on our placement on kickoffs. We really haven't had full cover yet, again, because it's real early. But I would think we'll be a good special teams. You know, the big question now is always how much do you practice kickoff return? How many opportunities are you going to get, you know, with them moving it back up to the 35? So, but we have 2 guys back there I think can really go on the returns, and Gaines and Corbin Lamb. So the speed is there. We just got to do a good job of blocking them and getting them started.
As far as like some returns, Devontae was doing some stuff the other day. Did you think about using him?
Sure, you look at like the kid from Clemson that went in the first round. He was a great receiver. He returned kicks, he returned punts, and Devontae's a special runner with the ball under his arm, and there's no question. I think he could help us.
What's a guy like Charles Gaines that comment on
Yeah, well, first of all, I think Charles has done a great job in leadership. He worked extremely hard in the summer. He did a good job helping some of the new guys and young guys work in the weight room. I think he's made great strides on the field and communicating and focusing. So I've been real impressed with that. Now his ability is, off the charts, how fast he is and his reaction. He can catch the ball in his hands. He can play press coverage. He can play off coverage. So he's very, very talented young guy that, I anticipate will go out there and have a really, really good year for us. Yeah, I mean, it's difficult, and we did put as much video together as we could find just to evaluate, him in game situation. We found some video from I remember the Ohio game, watching the video from the Ohio game. We had some video from practice, and we tried to study him. But then once you get out there, you just start coaching him on his technique, and he has the arm strength. He's got the release that you want. We got to get his feet in the right position. He sometimes doesn't get his feet in the right position, and his accuracy goes down. And then when he does, he can see it and he knows it. But he possesses a lot of skill. Yeah, that's what we're working on, is to see who's going to be the backup and where we're at with that. And we took Reggie the first 2 days and had him down with the newcomers. He was, he looked great. He stood out. His ability to release the ball, his accuracy, the command that he took. And then we brought him up and kind of threw him into the fire, to basically see how he would react and, where he would go. And I was very impressed with him. So I think there's great competition there for, backup, starter, see who progresses here in the next week.
What have you seen with Kyle Bowling, how his progression this week or even in the spring?
Yeah, Kyle went home after his spring game and was working out and tweaked his knee and had knee surgery over the summer. So basically lost almost all the summer. And I think it's hurt him a little bit. It's hurt him on his, release, and it's hurt him on his technique and speed. So he's got to get back healthy. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a threat. I think probably the guy I've had that could make the plays with his legs like that would have been Stephon. His ability to run, his ability to, if they're playing man under coverage, to take off and make plays with his legs. I was impressed yesterday when he scrambled a couple times. He kept his vision downfield and made throws on the run. So there's a lot of attributes there you really like to see. And I think, when you causes defenses a lot of problems to be able to have to handle a quarterback with the ability to run. But Will also can run. He just needs to be what we call be a willing runner, which means when it presents itself, you go get the yards and then you take care of yourself. You get the first down, you stay healthy. First or second down, you get us positive yards, 5, 10, sometimes 20 yards. So you have to be a willing runner to be able to be a quarterback. And, he timed at a 4.58, I think, which is very, very fast for a guy that big. Well, we don't time the freshmen when they come in because we don't want someone to pull a hamstring and not have enough time to recover. So our 40 times are in the spring.
Much of your game planning is based on your strengths and how much of it is what you see you guys
A combination. You know, I always feel like it's real important that you play to your strengths, you know what you do well, and you get the ball to your good guys. And then it becomes, okay, what's the best way to do that? How do I create matchups? How do I take advantage of what the defense is doing? How do we try to dictate, you know, to the defense what we want them to do? So it's a combination of both.
One of your former assistants was saying you might be more willing to invest the time in studying them rather than your own strengths. Is that fair characterization?
I don't think so. No, I think we do spend a lot of time studying our opponent, but that we do a great job in our self-scout and understanding what our own tendencies are, and you know, try to break those. I've always felt like the biggest thing I try to do is be as close to 50% run, 50% pass on 1st and 10. You know, if you can do that on 1st and 10, then usually the situations present themselves, and you just kind of coach the situations.
The last time you were here, your offenses were really elite the last 2 years ago. Numbers that were top of the NBA chart. Do you see the same kind of ability or potential in this team?
Yeah, I think it's yet to be seen, but I think we have some real playmakers and an experienced offensive line that'll give us the opportunity, you know, to do that. And I think the biggest thing we have to do is get to a point where mentally and effort-wise that we take the field and expect to score every time we take the field. And we've got a long way to go with that. You know, we got to be consistent with our effort. We got to be consistent with our technique. We've got to be consistent with, you know, really understanding the situations and focus. You know, one of the issues we have right now with our offense is focusing throughout the entire practice. You know, we have guys that get distracted, so we're working hard on that.
Sort through the depth at wide receiver, and you talk about confidence versus any other guys. When you've got a lot of guys there, how do you kind of sort through them and who gets?
Yeah, I've always felt like that's up to them. You know, they need to go out and practice and, you know, earn the trust of the quarterbacks, be exactly where they need to be playmakers, you know, be guys that show they can win matchups one-on-one. You know, there's a lot of times in certain progressions that as a quarterback against zone, you know what you're going to do, 1, 2, 3, check down, things like that. And then you tell them, okay, when it's man coverage, then these guys have to win. And if they don't win, then we got to find another guy that will. So they have to show that they can really win when it's man coverage and they get the matchups that you want. In saying that, I think it's going to be great competition. You know, Devontae obviously is a unique talent. I think Eli Rogers is doing a really good job for us. He's a guy that we rely on to be where he's supposed to be. He gives the whole group a lot of energy and has been a very good leader for that group. We haven't seen a lot of Michael Lee because he was out in spring. So we got to get to know him, and he's got to get to know the offense and you know, be exactly where he's supposed to be in the offense. James Quick has got the speed and the playmaking ability that you want. I think he's a guy that needs to make big plays for us and help us do that. Matt Milton had a very, very good spring. Most of it was working with the twos and, you know, going against the two corners. So he has to show it that he can do it again, that you need against the corners he's going to see in the games. So I think that's real important. I'm trying to think if I'm missing anybody that else I need to talk about at the receiver spot. Who's that? Oh, yeah, Kai. You know, I guess I forgot about Kai because Kai's been working with the newcomers and obviously has been a standout down there, you know, basically moving around, playing every position. Kai's a guy that really knows the game and can be real flexible position-wise. He can catch the ball away from his body and has been very reliable with his hands. Works inside real well. He's been in a class, so his class has been from 5:30 to 8:30 every night, so he's had to practice in the morning. So it'll be good. We go to class all the way till next Tuesday, which has been really different, as far as the scheduling goes.
Actually, a guy that you redshirt that I know you've been high on.
Yeah, I mean, I like him a lot. I think his ability is really there. He's a good route runner. He's the size that you want. He's got great hands. Physically, he's got a little development to go, to be able to play. Like I said before, he's not the same style receiver as Harry Douglas, but when we got Harry Douglas, it was like, wow, this guy's going to be a really good player. But he physically, his lower body strength wasn't where it needed to be. And what happens then is you stumble, you fall, or a DB puts his hands on you and you get off balance. So it takes you a while physically to get your lower body where it needs to be, and that's kind of where I see Bagley.
Coach, team's coming off a stellar season with most of the parts back. Yet in the press, the recognition, they're not getting a lot of preseason hype. Is that something that you sense the team is aware of? And if so, how do you deal with that, if you do at all?
Yeah, I think that we don't pay a whole lot of attention to that. We're right now focusing on getting better at practice, getting better, in the weight room. We get them up at 7 o'clock in the morning, and we were done last night at 10. So there's not a whole lot of time to worry about whether, we're getting any recognition or not, I do think that it's good that we have a bunch of guys on our team that have had success, that know how to prepare for games and know how to win games, and that helps us. But we're just focused on getting ready for a really good camp and then getting ready for the Miami game.
As much success as you've had with opening drive and scoring early, that opening script, is that something that's always in the back of your mind, or is it something that you just wait for a game week or 2 weeks before it starts something like that?
Well, you kind of all the time, I guess you would say. We have done a game plan for Miami. We've kind of went through it and, what you would do in the opening script. But the way it really works is if it's a game week, we go out and we practice Tuesday. We've already done the formation game plan. And then you go out and practice on Tuesday. And Tuesday night, when we're going through the practice, each coach is, writing down formations and plays that they like, things that look really good. And we come in on Wednesday morning, and the first thing we do Wednesday morning is, we say, okay, let's go. And I'll go, okay, Kent, what do you got for me? And you'll give me 4 plays that you think will be, in the, you would like to see in the first 8. And then I'll go, Rick, and then we'll go, around to every coach, GAs, and we'll put them up on the board. And then we'll go, okay, play number 1, what are we going to do, run or pass? And the offensive line coach and running back coach always says run. Everybody else says pass, so and then I hear my mom back there says throw it, so, and then we just kind of go down and make the first series, and then we'll go back and check them. And we'll go say, okay, who's the ball going to go to? And, first play, who's the ball going to go to? And you'll write that number up, second play, and then you might say, well, shoot, we only got 1-9 up there. Let's change it. We got to get the ball to, and you work like that. And you might say, okay, it's a great time to get Dyer in there and get him the ball, get him involved early. So that's kind of how it goes through. And then the next week, when we come in on Wednesday, and the 4 plays that you gave us weren't any good, then we'll start on the other side of the room. And we'll ask you last. So I try to make sure, everyone gets involved and is a big part of it. And it really makes the Tuesday night meeting when we're watching the video and studying the video, a lot of fun for each coach, because they know that they're going to be responsible in the morning to give us some good suggestions. My dad is always an option guy, but he knows you need balance. But my mom likes you to see the ball in the air.
Do you still script about this single mountain? I mean, do you still do what you've always done, or do you change?
Yeah, we're pretty close to, we have what we call traditions. So we're not superstitious, but we have traditions that we follow.
Bob, what kind of refinement do you have for running back moves like that? What kind of things do you work on with them to really try to get the most out of them? And you know, see what they do on film, but what areas do you feel like they need to improve?
Yeah, I think it's really important for the running backs to be exactly perfect on what they do before they get the ball. Where is their first step? Where is their second step? They need to have a great pre-snap read. It's really important for them, and this is what I usually do all the time when I'm standing back with them is, okay, look at the front, know what the front is, know what your initial run key is, what your secondary key is, and they're doing a really good job of really learning and understanding what we want from that. And, it's real important what you do on your tracks before you ever touch the ball. And then if you get good reads and your vision and instincts kind of take over, and we got some really talented guys there. I think Don Brown really needs to work on his pad level through the hole. If we can get his pad level through the hole better, he's going to be more explosive and make more big plays for us. Dyer keeps getting better. I thought last night was probably his best practice. He was very quick and seeing things, and his quickness and speed is back where it needs to be. And then L.J. Scott, is just a guy that, for being a true freshman and to have the work ethic and concentration that he has is special. He's done a nice job on doing everything that we've asked him to do. So if he continues to do what he's supposed to do, he should be good to go.
So can you talk about your linebackers? Obviously, haven't had a couple of Brown back this day, but
Yeah, I think the linebackers have done a real nice job. Burgess is a guy that has great instincts, great vision, doesn't hesitate at all. He's see it and go get it immediately, which makes it difficult, for our offensive linemen and fullbacks, and because his instincts are really good. Keith Kelsey has gotten bigger and stronger, had a great off season. He's got good instincts also. Maybe not quite at the level of Burgess right now, but he continues to get better at it. It's great to have Keith back. We're just learning a lot about him, but all the players say wait till the scrimmages get here and see him in live full action. So I'm going to have fun when we get to see that. Stacy Thomas has moved inside, and I like what we see from him. He's good. He's really good in coverage. He can read quarterbacks' eyes and transfer and break on balls. He's had a couple really nice interceptions. He injured his hand last night, so we have to see where he's going to be as far as that goes, and how much time he'll be out. Hopefully not much, but we really like that. And then inside, Isaac Stewart is a guy that we feel like has the strength and ability to play early. Yeah, I don't really know. I just really believe that it's how you coach the technique and fundamentals within the schemes. And, I think it's our players have to really understand that. And one of the things we really ask our players to do is work to be an expert at what they do. And, we've got to try to be the best in the country at our position. And we got a couple guys this year, 2-3 guys that have a chance to be that. We've seen that here before. So we just got to have every guy strive for that. It's a hard game. You have to be dedicated, and you have to make a commitment to it. And I think that's the biggest thing we're trying to get our players to really understand is that dedication and commitment will allow us to have a special team.
One more question, Coach John Wallace. How comfortable, or how important is that, first of all, to have somebody you can count on in
I mean, it's it's nice to be able to know you can get, that done. So I really like what I see from him. He's real mature. He's really takes it serious. I think he's gotten better over the summer, and I think he'll go out and have a really good year for us.
Bobby, can you touch on the transfer guys we have that did not?
Certainly. Who do you want to talk about?
Any other guests that you want to say that Harvey Clemens and
Yeah, sure.
Clay?
Well, Harvey Clemens is a big guy, very fast. A guy that started at the nickel, or what we call the star position, a year ago in this defense, and he's very talented. And you almost wish he could play right now. That would really help us. And then Shaq is a guy that has great ability. He has an awesome personality. I think he's a guy that will really help our defense, help our team with his leadership abilities. A guy that has tremendous energy every day out there at practice. So Tyler Ferguson has done a nice job at the quarterback spot. He's got really quick release. He's got good arm strength. He struggled a little bit yesterday. His first 3 practices, he was really good. And I think he'll help us a lot in the meeting room, and does a good job there. Who else? Is there anybody else? Jaquay is very, very talented. He's a big physical guy. He's got to focus on learning the offense and being able to play more plays in a row. His conditioning needs to get better so he can stay in there and keep going. And then Tyler Brugman, who just came with us, he's just kind of learning. He wasn't here all summer, so he doesn't know any of the offense or anything, so he's just kind of sitting back and taking it all in.